Welcome back, Cubs fans, and welcome to the North Side, where today we'll be doing our first weekly recap of the 2022 season. We'll take a look back at the most recent series from last week, and also do a look ahead to next week's series. Let's get into it. First, we'll obviously start here on opening day with the series against the Brewers, with the Cubs trailing 1-0 here in the fifth inning. Patrick Wisdom hits a sacrifice fly to plate Seiya Suzuki for the Cubs' first run of the season. The action doesn't stop there, though, as the next hitter steps up, Nico Hoerner, and hits a missile into the left field bleachers for the Cubs' first home run of the year, the first home run in the majors this year. That's Nico's first home run since the 2019 season. It'd be great to see a little bit of power come from his bat this year. Cubs opening day starter Kyle Hendricks pitched well, going 5 1/3, giving up 1 run with 7 strikeouts. But then we'll skip here to the top of the 7th inning, where Christian Yelich hits a sacrifice fly to score Colton Wong. The Brewers tie up here 3-3. Then we'll skip here to the bottom half of the inning, where Ian Happ, hitting left-handed, hits a bomb into right center. Probably gets out on a hot June day, but here in April, not quite. Off the wall, Clint Frazier scores, Wilson Contreras scores, Cubs lead 5-3. Then we'll skip to the 9th inning. Brewers scored 1 in the 8th, but David Robertson steps onto the mound in the 9th inning and gets the ground ball to end it. Magical over to Schwindel. Cubs win on opening day. The Cubs game on Friday was postponed due to weather, and Justin Steele was pushed back a day. That did not seem to affect him at all. Justin Steele was strong in his first outing of the year. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts in a winning effort for the Cubs. He could be a big piece in this rotation if he can keep this up all year long. Cubs pitching was not the only storyline of the day today, as the Cubs put up 9 runs on the Brewers here in Game 2 of the season. Seiya Suzuki here with the base hit to play his second run of the game. He ended the game with 3. His plate discipline on full display today with 2 RBI walks. Then here in the 4th, Ian Happ hits a grounder to right field. Rafael Ortega's going to score. Happ starting off the year hot. Seems to be following up on his September campaign quite nicely. Although the Cubs found themselves in a blowout here, 9-0 in the 8th, we did not miss out on any fireworks. We have a video on that. If you haven't watched that yet, you should check it out. We break it down. Talk about Keegan hitting McCutchen here. Now we'll move on to the Sunday game, where Seiya Suzuki starts off the scoring for the Cubs with his first Major League home run. This is an exciting time to be a Cubs fan with Seiya in the thick of the Rookie of the Year campaign. Can't wait to see how that turns out this year. Marcus Stroman gets his first start at Wrigley Field on Sunday. Here he gives up the home run to Willy Adames. He went 5 innings strong and then was relieved here by Jesse Chavez, who gives up the bomb to Rowdy Tellez to give the Brewers the lead here in the 6th inning. Cubs end up tying it in the 6th on a wild pitch, but then here in the top of the 7th, Daniel Norris gives up the home run to Mike Brasso, giving the Brewers the 5-4 lead, and that will be our final score, as the Cubs can't get the sweep, but they take 2 of 3 against the Brewers here in the opening series. After the off day on Monday, the Cubs travel to Pittsburgh for a 2-game set there, and this game is the Seiya Suzuki game. He hits 2 home runs on the day, giving him 3 on the year, and starting to really get his name out there into the public picture. He hits the bomb here to left center. Cubs only scored 2 runs in the game on 2 solo shots from Seiya. He was not the only story of the game, though, as Cubs starter Drew Smyly pitched great. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs. He could be a nice surprise addition to this Cubs rotation for the 2022 season. Last thing on this game, we'll highlight a great defensive play here by Nico Hoerner. In the hole, the jump throw, Jeter-esque, right on the money. Schwindel with the stretch to get Cabrian Hayes at first. Great defensive play. Perhaps he's already learned a thing or two from Cubs newcomer Andrelton Simmons, who is a defensive wizard at short. Now we'll be moving on here to Game 2 of the series, the final of the 2-game set. Wilson Contreras starts it off here with a solo shot in the top of the 1st. Ben Gamel follows that up with a 3-run shot in the bottom of the 1st to give the Pirates a 3-1 lead. Later on in the game, Cabrian Hayes plates the Pirates' 6th run of the day with a single to right, as the Cubs settle for a series split 1-1 with the Pirates. To conclude the road trip, the Cubs head to Colorado for a 4-game set. Frank Schwindel starts off the scoring in the 1st inning here with the infield single to plate the Cubs' first run of the game. And then next batter, Seiya Suzuki, will plate Frank Schwindel with a double to left center. This will be his 10th RBI on the year, as he currently leads the Cubs with 11 RBIs on the season. Now on to the 6th inning, where the Cubs lead 3-2, no more, as Frank Schwindel hits a deep drive to right just clears the wall over Charlie Blackmon's head to give the Cubs a 4-2 lead in the 6th inning. The Cubs will hold that lead into the bottom of the 9th, where Michael Givens comes on to get his first save of the year as the Cubs take Game 1 of the series 5-2. Now on to Game 2 of the series, where Alfonso Rivas starts off the scoring yet again as Jonathan Villar scores on a single to right. Rafael Ortega will follow this up with a single to right again. Jason Hayward will score. Rivas gets thrown out at third, but the Cubs end the 2nd inning leading 2-0. Cubs would hold this lead until Alan Trejo steps in with 2 guys on in the bottom of the 4th. He launches a Marcus Stroman fastball into the bleachers to give the Rockies the 5-3 lead. His teammate C.J. Cron follows him up with another homer in the bottom of the 5th to give the Rockies a 6-4 lead, and they hold on to that lead and win the game 6-5. Mark Leiter Jr. gets the start for the Cubs in Game 3. He's here giving up a 2-run shot again to C.J. Cron to give the Rockies a 4-1 lead here in the 3rd. Not a whole lot of good things happening on the Cubs end of this one, so we skip to the bottom of the 7th where C.J. Cron hits his 5th homer of the year off of Ethan Roberts in the left field bleachers to give the Rockies the 9-5 lead, end up going on to win the game 9-6 and taking the 3rd game of the series. Now the Cubs head into Sunday looking to salvage a series by taking a 2-game split, and Wilson Contreras starts off the scoring with a homer to left field off of Austin Gomber. His 2nd of the year. Cubs lead 1-0. The Cubs scoring does not stop there. Nico Hoerner hits a double here to left field. Patrick Wisdom scores. Michael Hermosillo scores, and the Cubs lead 3-0 in the 2nd. Drew Smyly pitched well again in this one here. Ended up going 4 2/3. Did not qualify for the win. Gave up no runs on 4 strikeouts. Put the Cubs in a good position to win, but did not get the credit for the win. We skip here to the top of the 7th inning where Seiya Suzuki hits his 4th home run of the year. This gave him his 11th RBI on the year. Leads the Cubs in homers, leads the Cubs in ribbies, leads the Cubs in average. The rookie is doing it all for the Cubs lineup here in 2022. And then here, David Robertson gets his 3rd save of the year on the grounder to Madrigal to Schwindel. Cubs win 6-4 and split the series with the Rockies 2-2. They are 5-4 on the year, entering into the 2nd week of the 2022 season. Now let's take a look ahead at next week's schedule. The Cubs come home for a 7-game homestand, 3 against the Rays, 4 against the Pirates, all winnable games. Hopefully the Cubs can come out on top and maybe improve their record to be at the top of the NL Central by the end of the week. And that concludes this week's weekly recap. Remember, if you haven't seen that Andrew McCutcheon video, check it out. The link in the description will be below. We also just dropped a video about Seiya Suzuki and his path to the show. Check that out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The North Side.